Hello, everyone. I hope I find you well. I hope you're having a good weekend. But namhlanje, today, is I hope you're having a good weekend, guys. I hope you're having a good weekend. And I'm sorry, I'm gonna be saying things which many people won't be happy about. I just wanna comment on the issue of Zim Education. Um, when we were growing up, we were raised in a manner that we were advised that you should take education seriously. That education was the key to success. Uh, Shockingly, these days, I just want to comment on the issue of education only, but it will like touch a little bit on the part of how things are at the moment in Zimbabwe at the moment, and I just wanted to raise this point. It's surprising that we as Zimbabweans we grew up, we were raised we were always like encouraged to take education seriously. But to my surprise, if you look at the moment, people are struggling to keep that issue. People are struggling to believe in that saying that says you should take education seriously, go to school, do this and this and that. Then you will be successful. Your chances of being successful will be like a little bit widened. I mean, to my surprise, now you tell a kid to go to school, a kid can like ask you some difficult questions or uncomfortable questions, which have some truth in it. Just wanted to comment on that issue. We've been raised by our parents, encouraging us to go to school, take education seriously, and everything else will follow. And when we were growing up, that was exactly what was happening. But nowadays, it's unfortunate that we are watching we are watching our children. We were raised in a manner that we prioritized education from everything else, and you could see there was examples in our families that if you stick with education, you end up successful. You're most likely to be successful. But nowadays, our kids, it's difficult to keep like advising your children to stay at school and stuff like that, because it doesn't seem to help. It doesn't seem to fulfill. There isn't much evidence showing that if you are educated, you may be there is a big chance that you can be successful in life, because everyone wants to be successful. There's no one who doesn't want to be successful. And we as Zimbabweans, we pride ourselves on the issue of saying that we are educated and stuff. But look at what the situation is at the back home. You look, some people, they're very, very, very vocal, saying that school doesn't really matter. And if you look at it, for sure, it doesn't look like education matters anymore at the moment, because we've let ourselves and we've let ourselves and our children like be conditioned. We've been conditioned to think that education no longer matters. But as soon as you leave home, you go to other countries, you find that education actually does matter. Eh, I think the system back home, the level of conditioning is shocking for a people. My comment is on the issue of us letting ourselves be conditioned to such an extent. It's shocking that such an educated people, for such an educated people to let themselves be conditioned to an extent that they end up thinking that education doesn't really matter. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Um, I don't know how to put this actually. If you look at it, go back home, you hear kids will tell you, you tell a kid you need to stay at school, you need to take education seriously. They will ask you questions like, what has education done for those who have been like at school? Some of them they've got lots of graduates. They can't even get employed just to operate a tiller. At a supermarket or something. They can't even get that job. It's shocking. But those who aren't educated and they are connected, you see, they're like now I don't know how to put this really. I'm really disappointed with what is happening back home, to be honest, because this is it's really surprising that a people whom are so educated can let themselves be conditioned to such an extent that education doesn't matter, only connection does. It doesn't matter whether you're educated or not. The only thing that matters is that are you connected. I can give you. I would like to stay away from using people's names. It started there on education. Now it's gone on politics. You hear people saying we are um, we are Democrats. We believe in democracy. But look at how someone says something and he goes on to do something different. You understand? It really gets under my skin, to be honest. It makes me angry to hear someone lie right on your face, and it makes me really angry, to be honest. But I know there's nothing I can do about that. But I just besides that, I can comment here and say these people have started conditioning us so that we can think that education doesn't matter, so that we remove majority, that someone should get something, or let's say a job. And for example, they started conditioning us to think that it's okay for anyone to get a job, even if it's not on merit. As long as they are connected, it's okay. And it looks like we've accepted that. Now it's gone on to politics again. They are conditioning us to think that democracy does not work. They are conditioning us. If you look at the people at the moment, you hear people saying, vote, elections don't work anymore. So why are you talking about, why are we lying and saying we believe in democracy? Because democracy, it goes hand in hand with voting and things like that. Eh? I do not get it. Why do we do? But look, now people we are now starting to think that the elections don't work. If you anyone talks about elections, you hear someone saying elections don't work, but we still keep the other thing that we believe in democracy. Why can't we just say we no longer believe, we don't want to do that because we don't believe in it anymore? You hear people talking about change. How can you change something with the same thing? What sort of change is that? What sort of change? Yeah, if let me tell you the other word which they usually use when they conditioning you people. They use words like they'll give you examples of the past elections. You say, if there is no reforms, if there is no reforms, why there are no reforms? Can we ask ourselves why there is no reforms in the first place? Then you will come up with the answer. The same answer is because these people are not really, they don't really believe in democracy. That's the point. That's the whole point anyway. Yeah. Because they are conditioning us to think that elections don't work, so that they keep on. They know that if we insist that no, we want this is what we want, they won't be voted. So they are now conditioning you. They started like rigging elections, rigging elections. Then conditioning us to think that if there is no reforms, elections won't work. Then we've accepted that. Now I'm hearing people saying, elections won't work anyway if there's no reforms. So why there's no reforms? There should be. This is what we should say. We want reforms. Okay. That shows you that these people, they have no political will to change anything, because if they change, it will change everything. We'll be changing them with something else. So the best thing is to condition you to think that it's okay to have 10 years without elections. This is exactly where our country leading is going to. This is the way our country is being led to. You hear there will be no elections for the next coming 10 years. So why are you guys keeping this issue of saying we are Democrats, we believe in the Constitution? Why do you write constitutions then? You can't even follow them. This Constitution is being dismantled day and night just to suit someone else. This past week, they are saying we don't want people talking on the internet. You will be arrested. You will be charged with this and this and that, and your sentence will be 10 years. They're just plucking things out of thin air and threats and that, because they want to condition you. You think that you shouldn't be talking. You shouldn't do anything. Just keep the status quo. So it's up to you guys. Yeah, I just comment. It's up to you guys. This is not an individual thing. It's a collective thing. Do we want to be conditioned? Why should we let ourselves be conditioned in the first place? We can see where we are being taken, the direction of which we are being taken to. There will be no elections in the future. There will be no elections. This issue of saying it's okay for them to change the constitution and say 2030, up to 2030 there will be no elections. That's absolutely bullshit. Absolutely not right, to be honest. If you were a human being with five senses, how can you with a brain, a working brain, how could you even come up with something like that and just chuck it right in everyone else's face and say 2030 and then the legislators will be like yes, then you think that people will be okay with that? Oh, it's okay. It's all right to do that. Just to come up one day, just wake up and say, today, from today onwards, this for we are changing this. From since when? Since when a person who believes in democracy has ever done that? Who, where? I just don't get it, guys. We've been conditioned. They started with the education thing. Now it's okay to see someone with degrees walking on the street selling tomatoes, selling SIM cards, selling a juice cards. You call it juice cards. It's okay. That's okay. Is ngwavaring. It's all right. But if you look at us, we were raised in a manner that education was the key to success for anyone. If you educated, you open vast chances of yourself being successful in the future. But now we've been conditioned to think it's okay not to follow the route of education. Then they think that it's okay. We shouldn't say anything about that. We shouldn't raise any concerns about something like that. I just don't get it, to be honest, guys. I am shocked as well. This is being done to people whom pride themselves of being educated. I don't know whether it's the selfishness, the part of the education system which makes people think about themselves first. Maybe this is one of the things which contribute to that. Because if you look at it, if people were this educated before independence, we wouldn't have had any independence, or we wouldn't have had anything that is called independence. We wouldn't have, because everyone would think for themselves, and that's it. You hear people talking about revolution, this and this and that. These days, you can't do any revolution anymore, because people, we are aware, we know, most of us, we know what's wrong and what is right. You can't just start a war. You can't do that, right? It's just not right, because things like, mostly people, it affects people. Mostly it affects people who are not supposed to be affected, mostly. So there's no revolution without a gun, guys. Let's not lie to ourselves and say, we're doing revolution. No, we need to confront these people head on and refuse to be conditioned. Now most people, you go on the internet, you go on social media, you find out people are saying they've given up. Actually, we can't do this issue of elections, politics, and the other thing, we like to think that we like to analyze things too much. Sometimes some things you don't need to analyze them. You just think 1 + 1 is equal to 2. Is this all right? There's a difference between right and wrong. There's a difference between right and wrong. If you find yourself in a situation whereby you like, it's okay for someone to do something wrong to someone because you are together with that person, ubuntu bakho ukuphi then? Ukuphi ubuntu bakho? Now, some people were talking about doing rituals, and now education doesn't matter anymore, but rituals and connections, these two things. I'm shocked. And this society pride themselves as people who are educated, guys. Really? That's all I wanted to comment on, guys. This is shocking. This issue of education, we are educated and this and that. It's not. It looks like it's not working for us. There's something wrong with our education, because it's like based on individualism, which is causing people to be selfish. You understand? not to think about anyone else but themselves and their friends and those whom support them and stuff like that. If you happen to be like questioning things, why are you doing this? Sometimes you'll be like just want to advise someone. No one listens because it's okay for themselves and their connections and those who are connected to them. But to be honest, the issue of elections do work, but if there is a political will for them to work, you have to also understand that these people cannot change things for them to be chucked out. You understand? And they've committed a lot of things. Right now, the fact that I'm talking like this, someone is saying this guy is an enemy, is my enemy. But I'm not. I'm just trying to let you know that what you're doing is wrong. If you're a human being, try to do good by everyone around you. You find you have a fulfilling life. If you live like you quacker, uba izikliwi uforce abanye abantu ukuthi belandele wena, even if when uba leader to a wrong path. That's wrong, guys. Okay, anyway, this is all I wanted to talk about today, guys. It's okay. I'll be back later. I have something else to talk about. We'll see each other later. Thank you for those who've been watching. Bye.